Hello viewers, on today's episode we are going to be looking at quadratic equation, but solving quadratic equation in an exceptional manner. Now, if you observe, right in front of us we have three questions or three quadratic equations to solve. We're not going to be solving it using the usual method, maybe the factorization method, the completing the square method, the graphical method, and so on and so forth. But then we're going to be looking at an exceptional method, because this method will help us, as many of us who are writing multiple choice question like OBJ. So this particular method will help us scale through. So stick to the end of this video so that you get to know how to solve it. So in this case, we're not going to be using the other methods. We're going to be using an exceptional method. But you could equally try it using any of those methods which I've just mentioned, and you will get the same answer. Now, here we have the first question. The first question is x squared plus 7x plus 12 equals to 0. Now, how do we solve this? So I'm going to be solving these two, then the other one will be the one you're going to solve. Then you drop your answer in the comments. So let's start with the first one. So solution to the first one, solution 1. Let's call this solution 1. And the first question is x squared plus 7x plus 12 equals to 0, right? So the first thing to do, just like we always know, there's a coefficient here, even when not given. So the coefficient here is 1. So you're going to do 1 times 12. So 1 times 12 is going to give you positive 12. That's 12, right? So now, in that case, we find the factors of 12. It's still necessary to find factors, although it looks as though you are doing factorization method, but then just find factors. So in this case, we have factors of 12. Now, what are the factors of 12? Always do it this way to be more easier. 12 and 1, that's 12 times 1, 12. 2 times 6, 12. Then 3 times 4 is what? 12. So we're looking at the factor that we match up 7. So which of these factor, when added, will give us 7? So we have what? This, right? So in that case, now the next thing to look at is, okay, most times, due to the fact that we have our degree here to be what? 2, we are going to have x to be equals to something, or x to be equals to the other thing. So there are going to be two answers. So that's how quadratic equation works. In that case, the answer is going to fall between, the answer is going to be 4 and 3, but it doesn't just end there. So since we are having positive 4 and positive 3, because of the fact that we have positive 7. Now, mind you, if you don't know signs, okay, this is another way to get your sign. So what we have here is plus, right? So plus, then plus times plus. Please, this is a magical way to know the signs that you're going to assign. So plus is here, you write plus, okay? Then this plus times this plus here, that's what is still plus. I'm just doing this for you to be able to depict the signs that you are going to be using, okay? So it's plus 4 plus 3. Now, mind you, since this is a fast trick, just change the plus to minus. So that will be minus 4 and minus what? 3. But don't forget this coefficient here. So you're going to be dividing by 1 and 1. So this is pretty easy. So this is going to be minus 4 and minus 3. So this is your answer. So let's solve the next question. The reason this is quite long is because of the explanation. If you understand this thing very well, you'll be able to solve more questions. So let's look at the other question. I'm going to be solving this second one. Afterwards, you will solve, or maybe you solve this and then put your answer in the comments. So the next question goes to us. So we have 3x squared minus 11x plus 6 equals to 0. Now, in this case, we do the same thing. So we have 3 and 6. So it will be like 3 times 6 is what? 18. Right? So factors of 18 include 18 and 1, 2 and 9, 3 and 6, and lots more. But I think it's when you go back, like you can go back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18 exactly. So here are the factors of what? 18. But the reason I'm writing like this, so that I can be able to follow it this way. Now I'm looking at the one that will give me this. Meanwhile, my signs are going to be as follows. Since I have minus here, so first I have minus. So one of these we have minus. The minus times plus is what? Is minus. So that means both in this case we have what? Minus. So you can see how simple it is. That both in this case should have what? Minus. That's what this thing simply entails. So when the look of things, the factors that is suitable is strictly this. But we are looking at the one that will match up this. So the only one that matches this is what? Is minus 9 minus what? 2. I didn't mean there was, let's say, minus 9 here. This would have been the one we will use. You get? But since it is minus 11, we're looking at which one we match up 11. So in this case, so what we are going to be having now as our answer is going to be x is equals to what? Minus the minus 9. Now remember, since it's minus 9, while writing the answer, it will now be plus what? 9. Then over what? Over this. Always remember, the final answer, you have to divide it by the coefficient of x squared divided by 3, or x equals, the other one is minus 2, right? So it's going to now be plus 2 over what? Over 3. And this is your answer. It's as simple as this. So now I would love you guys to solve this question and then put your answer in the comments. So thank you very much for watching this. If you watch this video to the very end, I really appreciate. Please do well to what? Do well to like, share, and subscribe.